friends, I am very thankful to all my viewers who have watched my videos, liked my videos and even subscribed it. They have not only watched my videos but they have left comments in the comment box which has been inspiring me and motivating me throughout my journey. Not only this, they have even asked for certain topics on which the video is to be made. So here I am with one such topic, that is writing an email. As we all know, today we live in a technical world, a world full of gadgets. So the traditional way of sending letters and waiting days and months for receiving the replies are the gone days. Today, at the click of the finger, the messages are transferred from one place to another, and that too at a lightning speed. So what is an email? Email is also known as electronic mail. Electronic mail because they are sent through electrical cable wires, like from one computer to another computer. Be it in your own country, your city or far away from your places, the 7 seas or oceans away. At the click of your finger, at the nick of time, the messages are transferred from one place to another. Now, rarely anyone depends on the traditional way of writing letters. So, writing an email is also an art. Just like our traditional letters, we have formal and informal letters. Same way in electronic mails also, we have different types of letters like formal letters, semi-formal letters and informal letters. Now what are those letters? Let us see. First is your formal letters. Those letters written to officials. These are your official letters. Written to an unknown person. The person whom you don't know. These letters are written to those unknown person whom we don't know. Next is your semi-formal letters. These semi-formal letters are written to your colleagues. Or those person whom you know or those person who work with you or who stay with you, that is in your neighborhood or in your city. So semi-formal letters are written to those person who work with us or stay around us. And last is your informal letters, letters written to friends and relatives. So just like traditional methods, we have 3 types of letters in email too. So we write informal letters to friends and relatives, means those persons whom we know or they are very close to us. Now, just like we have studied about the formats of formal and informal letter, email also has a particular format which is to be followed. In ICSE boards, class 10 boards, notice and email are compulsory questions, each comprising of 5 marks. So here we are going to study about the patterns, what are the steps involved in that and how it has to be written. Here also use for step marking. So now look at this page. This is a page of an email. When you open it, you can see there are 2 parts. One, the heading part and the blank space. The blank space is meant for the content where you are going to compose your emails, and your heading comprises of the sender's address, which is already filled, then the receiver's address, which we have to fill in, then we have date and time, this is also mentioned in the email, already mentioned, then subject, that is to be filled, and then we have the blank space that is meant for the content. As far as your board exam is concerned, we only have to write the receiver's address, that is to be filled in 2 columns, and the subject. Since the sender's address is already filled in, as soon as you log into your Gmail account, your sender's address is already filled in. Date and time is also already filled in. What we have to do is write the receiver's address. Now in this video, we are going to write a letter to the principal requesting him to arrange extra classes for mathematics. So the receiver will be the principal. Your receiver's address will be principallbs213@gmail.com. Whatever is the recipient's address, please fill in that, and it should be completely filled. Proper address should be given. Then come to your subject. Request to arrange extra classes for mathematics. This is the topic we have selected for today's video. The subject can be anything. Like suppose you are writing a letter to your friend to return the books. Subject will be return of books. Suppose you are writing the letter for the cancellation of tickets. Your subject will be cancellation of tickets. Or if you are writing a letter inviting someone, so invitation for so and so event. So subject can be anything according to the question asked in the exam. Just like we write other creative writings and we follow a particular format, that is leaving one line gap at every step, the same format we are going to follow here also. So I will have one space between the receiver's address and subject. Then again I will have space between subject and salutation. One space between salutation and content, and then content and subscription. So this one line space is important to be kept at every step. This is required only when we are writing the emails on a piece of paper, that is in your notebook, register, or your answer script. In your actual email format, or when you open your Gmail, you will see all these spaces are already fixed. So there is nothing to worry about it. But when you are writing on a piece of paper, these things are to be kept in mind. Next is your salutation. Greetings. What are salutation? Greetings. How do we greet the recipient? Now there are several ways of greeting people. We say hi Rohan, hello Rohan. All these are informal ways of greeting. But when we are writing a formal letter, here we are writing letter to the principal, so it's a formal letter. So whenever we are writing formal letter, your salutation should also be formal. The entire language of your letter should be formal. So our salutation will be dear sir or dear madam, when we know the person who is sitting at that post or on that position is male or a female. If the person is a male, I will write down dear sir. If the person is a female, I will write down dear madam. Now what about those people whom we don't know, like we write letters to government offices. I am writing to the editor. Suppose I am writing to the editor, to the district magistrate, to the CMOs. I am writing to that post, to the designation. I don't know who the person is sitting on that. What happens? Suppose we write and suddenly there is a transfer, so person change. So we are not actually sure of the person sitting on that chair is a male or a female. In such case, we use the designation as dear sir or madam. So whosoever person is there on that position is greeted appropriately. So where we don't know the person, we will go for dear sir or madam. And when we know the person, whether it's a male, that is dear sir, or a female, dear madam. Now while writing madam, one thing what we have to keep in mind is, do not write ma'am. No short forms are allowed. In both the cases, you are going to lose marks. Madam, dear madam. One more thing to be kept in mind, suppose we are writing letters to colleagues or our friends. use the name Dear Rohan. Do not write Dear Friend. You have to write the name of that person. So Dear Rohan. Do not write Dear Friend. Dear Rohan. Clear? Another thing, do not use any kind of title like Dr. Miss. Dr. Miss Rita, Dr. Mr. Rohit. Do not mention the title. Directly, Dear Rita, or you can simply write down Mrs. Rita or Dr. Rita. But do not write Dr. Miss Rita. Here you are going to lose marks. Moving ahead to the next step, that is content. Content is the part of the question that is actually asked. This content also has to be written in 3 paragraphs or 3 parts, which includes your introduction, that is your opening line. Introduction is your opening line. Conclusion is your ending line. We cannot end the letters abruptly. There should be a proper opening line and proper concluding line. Clear? Then comes your body. Body is the actual question asked in your question paper, which includes your expression. Sorry. So body will include the expression according to the question asked. Suppose here we are writing the letter regarding arrangement of extra classes for mathematics. So what would be my introductory line? The introductory line should be, with due respect, I so and so class request you to kindly arrange some extra classes for mathematics. This is your introductory line. So this is your introduction. Now the body part. What are the contents that is to be written in the body part? Extra classes can be arranged for various reasons. 1, 3 are main. 1, your syllabus is incomplete. 2nd, you need extra practice. 3rd, and you are a weak student, a slow learner. So you need some more practice and you cannot cope up with the speed of the class. So in all the 3 cases, what will be the body? For completion of syllabus. As our board exams are approaching and our syllabus are still pending, I request you to arrange the extra classes so that we can complete our syllabus on time. Second reason for extra practices. Sir, there are certain difficult topics in mathematics which we are not able to cope up with in the given prescribed time, and hence I request you to arrange extra classes for mathematics so that we can practice, we can have some more practice regarding that topic and excel in exams. Now coming to the third case, that is for the weaker section, those students who are weak in maths and cannot cope up with the regular classes. So what can be the body for such letters? You can say, sir, I am a good student scoring good marks in all the subjects except for maths. So it's not the case only with me. There are some more students who have the same problem. So we request you to kindly arrange the extra classes for mathematics so that we can cope up with the topic at our own pace and excel in exams. So this could be your possible body part of your letter. Then coming to concluding line, generally we conclude as thanking you or thanking you in anticipation. But there are other ways also to conclude your letter. Like in this case, we can go for, we will be very grateful if the extra classes are conducted or if the extra classes are arranged. That could also be your concluding line. And then thanking you and your subscription. Now in ICSE board, there is a particular way of writing subscription. There are hundreds of subscriptions available. Yours faithfully, yours sincerely, yours truly, yours affectionately, yours lovingly and what not. But as a student, we have to score marks, because if there is any slight mistake also, you are going to lose the full marks for that particular step. So as a student, I would advise you to stick yourself or limit yourself to particular subscriptions only. Like yours faithfully in case of formal letter and yours lovingly in case of informal emails. Now yours faithfully also has a particular way how it is to be written. That is, Y should be capital. Which capital? The simple letter Y. The simple capital letter Y. Generally, the cursive capital Y's are not accepted. So, you will write down simple capital Y, and the first letter of the second word should be small. That too in cursive. Here also, cursive is more acceptable. So, first letter of yours should be capital Y, simple capital Y, and the first letter of the second word, that is faithfully, should be small f. Not only this, there should be no apostrophe. There is no apostrophe, yes, it's simply yours faithfully, and end with a punctuation, comma. If any of these 4 steps are missing, you are going to lose the full marks for this step. That is capital Y, no apostrophe S, small f and comma. All 4 are there in proper place with proper intonation. Then only you score marks for this subscription. And then come to your name. Name should be written in full. Your name should be written in full, and when you are writing informal, it's only single name, the first name. And your designation. So designation is a must. As an individual student, you can write for the request, a class monitor can write, a head boy can write, class teacher can write, even your subject teacher, the maths teacher can also write a letter to request for extra classes. Suppose he feels that his class needs some more attention, he too can write a letter to arrange extra classes. So it's anybody who can write, and hence designation is must. This is all about the format of writing email. Now coming to the marking scheme, as I said, it's a compulsory question carrying 5 marks. These 5 marks are divided in various steps and you get step marking. So what are the marks allotted for each step? Receiver's address, half marks. Subject, half marks. Salutation, half marks. Then coming to content also paragraph wise you get the marks. For introduction you get half marks. For conclusion you get half marks. And the main part of the letter, that is your body, carries 2 marks. It carries 2 marks. The maximum marks are given to body. Suppose the question is not clear to you, you are not able to attend the body part. Still, there are 3 marks at your disposal. You can easily score 3 marks. And it rarely happens that you get 0 in expression. Some marks you do get, because it's not that you are 0 in writing the body part. Some or the other content you give there. Hence, little bit, whatever is the score, you score there. But minimum 3 marks are at your disposal. Then coming to subscription, also carries half marks. Now in subscription, if all the 4 steps are properly written, then only you get this half marks, otherwise you will lose the marks here. So you can see 1 marks, 2 marks, 2 and 2, 4 marks and 5 marks. So this is all about the email writing. If you have any doubt, please do ask in the comment box. Till then, goodbye and best of luck to all of you for your exam. Bye-bye.